State?
Nancy Hodur, North Dakota State University.
Here at the Bakken Williston Basin Petroleum Council, and you were a speaker here. What did you speak on?
Well, I talked about the latest research initiative that we are just kicking off. My colleague Dean Bankson and I are getting ready to start a major primary data collection effort to take a look at the workforce. We want to examine employment patterns. You know, what portion of that workforce is rotating in and out every 2 weeks? What portion is a resident workforce? What portion is just has inherently high turnover, maybe because it's a really hard job, or it's a young employee that just doesn't stick around very long. We want to try and find out if there's people that do want to move here and be residents. What are those impediments? What are their intentions? What do they want to do? What don't they want to do? And then the people that can use this information, the communities, now they know what to build. They know what services they need to provide. They know what kind of infrastructure they need to provide. Businesses are looking for a stable workforce. They don't want all that turnover. They don't want to train and retrain. So anything we can do to try and shed some light on what this workforce looks like, descriptively in terms of demographics, and also in terms of what their perceptions are. What kind of constraints they have facing them. So it's a pretty major effort, and we're just in the process of scoping it out right now.
Now, a previous study you did was on housing, was that right?
Yes, we have been doing employment, housing, and population projections for the last about 3 years. We recently updated those numbers with some new information about what the revised consensus is in terms of the number of wells and the number of rigs that we're going to have in the basin. Those numbers have come out through a number of Vision West webinars, and we will be publishing that information here in the coming months too. So we've updated our housing, employment, and population projections.
And when it comes to the wells, are you able to disclose that information yet?
I think what we did is our revisions went up. And I think as you talk and you listen to the experts here that are the experts in the geology, with what they're finding and the evolution in the technology, is that in the course of about a year's time, we went from thinking the common consensus was maybe about 45,000 wells at the end of the day, maybe looking more like at 55,000. And again, it's a moving target. The technology is evolving. The economics are evolving. The geology, the understanding of the geology is evolving. So, you just need to keep revisiting and updating.
When it comes to some of the jobs in the workforce, I just got back from Las Vegas, visiting some family, visiting with some people that live there, and they got 20,000 kids graduating, and there's no jobs in Las Vegas for any of these kids. Mm-hmm. They were talking about the oil patch. One of the guys said, I wish my kid would go out there. They got more regiment than the Army. The other one said, I wish my kid would go out there because they could make $100,000 and not spend $100,000 on school. Sorry, NDSU professor. What do you make of that when you're starting to hear parents talk about the kids going to North Dakota to work rather than going to the Army? I mean, that's quite a comparison.
Well, as I started off my presentation yesterday, we've got a workforce problem in the state right now, and we got 25,000 unfilled jobs. And at the same time, we still have housing issues in western North Dakota. So and housing markets are tight all over the state. So this workforce issue, while our current study is related to western North Dakota, we got a workforce issue all across the state. We've got a very, very strong economy. So yeah, we're going to see people that are saying, yeah, you need to go to North Dakota and get a job. But at the same time, they need to go to North Dakota. They need to know where they're going to land. They need to know where they're going to stay. And I guess some of those characterizations, oh no, it's worse than the Army, those kinds of anecdotal stories, they're out there, but I don't put a whole lot of credence into it. We know North Dakota it's a busy place, but it's a good place.
What are your observations over the past year? We spoke about a year ago, and now we're speaking. What evolutionary observations have you made out here in, just say, North Dakota in general?
Well, since we finished up the population work, I have not spent as much time in western North Dakota as I had been when we spoke previously. But we're getting ready to kick off. I think that the pace has slowed. I mean, You can get a hotel room now. There are some housing available. It's still expensive. I think like I said, the pace is moderating a little bit, but yet we're still behind. You know, we still don't have. We still don't have appropriate housing. They're still trying to build infrastructure as fast as they can. We still have a long ways to go until we say it's all good.
Now, housing, another thing I've heard, and I don't know if your study indicates this, and you certainly don't necessarily have to comment on it because you're not in the private sector. I've been hearing people say that the rents are going to have to come down to about $1,000, and I've heard that a lot of hotel projections are 30 years of maximum occupancies, that sort of thing. Are you hearing anything along those lines from anybody?
No, I don't have any comment on that. I don't have any numbers, don't have any facts, so no comment on that. So.
And that won't make it in there, so don't worry about it.
What if we got Dino's? Whoops, I'm sorry, working on some stuff too. He could probably talk more about those most recent projections that we finished up. If you want to grab him for a second too.
You probably can, yeah.
Okay.
We'll
finish up here.
Well,
Okay.
actually, I'm on my last question for
okay.
you. So, just kind of your final thoughts. What you want the listeners, the readers, to remember, to take away from what you can represent, what you can educate on the Bakken.
Well, I think what my job is and what I try and do is we try and do the applied research in a scientific manner that brings some facts to decision makers, to industry, to communities. We try and quantify this stuff so everybody's got some real life information that they can use. Otherwise, we're guessing and using preconceived notions, and so my goal is to try and bring some information, bring some data, bring some analysis, and information that's transparent, that can be used to make solid decisions so we know what to build, how to build it, and we can manage the development challenges associated with this booming economy.
Nancy, thank you very much.
You're very welcome.